Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another Vinny Built Structure video. At least I think this will be a Vinny Built Structure. I am modifying something. I was getting a little burnt out working on my layout so much. I've been consistently working on that for the past 3 or 4 months to get it all up and running and so on and so forth. So I decided to take a little break and do another little project that did not require so much brain power. Yeah, I mean, thinking about how I got to do that bridge and all that kind of stuff is taking a toll on my brain. Anyhow, with all that being said, I want you guys to follow along and show you what I've done here. So stay tuned and we'll be right back. So, if you guys like to see how I went from this to this, stay tuned and I'll show you what I did to accomplish this little project. Let's start with the products we're going to use to transform this truck. Anyhow, we're going to start with one of my models, and I'm going to transform this whole thing into what you saw at the beginning. And I'll show you kinda. I wasn't planning on doing this video, but I decided, what the heck, do another video for you guys to see how something is done. Anyhow, we're going to start off with my Model Masters glue, and then for paints we're going to use this gloss seaside paint. It's a Rust-Oleum product. We're going to use some Valspar primer gray, and we're going to use a bit of acrylic black for the paint colors. We're also going to be using various size tubes and rods, because I'm going to be making pipe loads for this. As you can see, there's real small ones here. I don't know what the diameter is. I don't know if it says it on here. 1.5 millimeters. So that one, and then the 212 rod, 224 tube, and 226 tube. Anyhow, also going to need a piece of balsa wood, and I think this was a 32nd square. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's what it was. Anyhow, as you can see, I've already started cutting pipe loads. These are the 212, and they are 40 foot long, prototypical 40 feet long, and there'll be 3 tiers, 3 stacks, and then I'll continue on with different pipe loads. But the procedure I do here is going to be the same for all the pipe loads that I do. So I'll bring you back when I get some of these pipe loads done. So now we're going to begin with doing the pipe loads. As you can see right here, I got a bunch of those 1/32 balsa wood taken apart and cut down into 4-foot sections. And also here on the tape I have 2 lines drawn of where I want to place those, the first ones, and then stack the pipes up on top of those as we go along. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and start with this, and we'll take one of these guys, put him right there. I'll take another one and put him right there. And once those are down and secure, I can start laying my pipe on it. And we'll glue the pipe down, and then every stack on top of that will be exactly the same. Anyhow, I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll be back in a minute. Now that I've got the pipe loads done, as you can see, I've got 4 different sizes of diameters, and 4 different lengths, or actually 3 different lengths. The next thing we need to do is to put banding around the loads, and for that I'm just going to be using just regular old black thread, and you'll need a pair of scissors. These scissors I got when I had my surgery. These are actually scissors that pull out sutures. If you can see that little curve right there, that stick it under there and snip. Anyhow, I asked the doctor to have it when he was finished, and he gave it to me just like that. Anyhow, the process will be take a length of your thread, and remember this. The same rule applies here. You could always make it long. You could always make it shorter, but you can't make it longer. And so I would just put some glue down here and let it set up. And when it sets up, I wrap it around and glue it again. Anyhow, it's a simple procedure. It's just time consuming waiting for the glue to dry. I usually use super glue for this, or CA cement, because it dries up and it dries hard. I do have some, but I don't want to open a new package just to do this. So we'll just work with the Model Masters. So I'll do one of these, and we'll see how it turns out. You notice that I made that quite long, only because I don't know how it's going to fit going around there. And so we'll do another one here. Hey, get off of there, you. See, that's the problem with this regular glue. It takes a while to set up. That's why I like using the CA cement. Anyhow, I'm just going to use what I have. And I'll put another one here. And we'll just let those sit up. When they set up, I'll bring it back and we'll do the rest of it, and then the rest of the pipe loads get the same thing. Anyhow, we'll be back in a few minutes. So, while I'm waiting for the glue to dry on the pipe loads, I'm going to show you what I did to the trailer. Now, this is not the trailer that I'm customizing. This is mine. This is on my layout, and it's not going to be touched, but I'm just showing you what I started with and what I'm going to do to fix, to do what I need to do. Anyhow, unfortunately, like I said earlier, I wasn't sure if I was going to do a video on this or not. So what I did to this trailer was, let's see if I can pick this up and show you guys. I gently pried the rear axle assembly out of there. There are two locating pins that are in there, and hey, anyhow, and then what I did was I cut it down the center here and just split the wheels apart, because the model I'm trying to accomplish is one of my subscribers, Mr. Roy Hardwick, Container Man 68. Anyhow, this is what I wound up with. Split wheel. And I think, if I remember correctly, when I saw his truck, I think he's got little tool boxes or some sort of boxes that hang down between the wheels. I'll be putting those on there also. Anyhow, few more steps and we'll have this partially completed. I'm not going to complete the whole thing in this video, only because I need to find all the mirrors and stuff for the truck. Anyhow, let's see what else we can get into. We'll be back in a minute. Alright, back to the pipe loads. Anyhow, as you can see, I've got two danglies right there. And what I do next, I just wrap it around and pull it taut and hold it with your finger on the thread and the pipe, and then just add some glue. Now the difference with this is that I have to wait for this glue to dry, whereas the CA cement would dry pretty much on contact. So I'm just going to wait here for this for a few minutes, and then we'll do the other side, and then I'll do the rest exactly the same. So let's move on to the cab, what I did to it. Anyhow, this is not the cab that I used. This is for demonstration because, like I said earlier, I wasn't sure if I was going to record this. But anyhow, very simple procedure to pull one of these guys apart. They just fit it on there and just wiggle it and it comes off. and wiggle that one and it comes off, and then you just have the chassis left. The stacks come out easily also. They just slide in, and then I'm down to a bare shell. Once I got them both down, I took the glass out of both of them, and then I took them and gave them a soft toothbrush with alcohol just to get the gloss off of it. After I finished that, I went ahead and gave it a primer coat with the paint I showed you earlier, and then I went ahead and used, let me back this out a bit, this Seaside it's called, and I think it's real close to the color of Roy's truck. Anyhow, with all that being said, let me show you what I came up with so far. I may have to back the camera out a bit, but there's the cab, and on Roy's truck his fenders are painted black, so I painted those black. The grill, I mean, I know this is not the particular model that he drives, but this is all I had, and I wasn't going to go out and spend money just to do this project. But anyhow, here's the sleeper, and when they back onto the truck they will look something like that, and we'll see how it looks when it's all together. I'm still waiting for the thread to dry on the pipe loads, but once those dry I'll put this together and give you a look at what it's going to look like. I'm not going to finish it like I said earlier because I still have to find the mirrors to put on there, and I might want to paint the air intakes silver when I get the courage to do that. Anyhow, so give me a few minutes. Let me get these pipe loads all ready to go. I'll put the trailer onto the tractor, put everything together, and you'll see what the semi-finished product is going to look like. Anyhow, stay tuned and we'll be back in a minute. Alright guys, so this is the semi-completed project that I was doing. I know Roy drives a Peterbilt, and this is not a Peterbilt, this is a Kenworth. I know also that he doesn't carry loads as long as those, but it was just easier and quicker for me to do bigger loads than to do smaller loads. Still need to add the boxes down here, and I think he said there's a box behind here someplace, and still got to put the mirrors on, which I got to go look for. But anyhow, overall I think it turned out pretty good. You guys let me know. Anyhow, I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. And as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. And now, that's all folks. BNSF 6951 out.